Hi third graders, welcome to math lesson Estimating Sum. Well, you might be wondering what is estimation. Let's first answer what we already know. We know what is rounding. Rounding is when we say what the number is nearest to. We can round numbers to the nearest 10. For example, 235 is about 240. 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, raise the score. And as you can see, the number that I have underlined is in 10th place. And then I'm looking to the right. Well, number 5 is telling me to raise the score. So my number that I rounded it to is 240. We also learned how to round to the nearest 100. For example, 235 is about 200. And as you can see here, I underline 2 because I'm rounding to the nearest 100, so I'm looking for the hundreds place. And when I look to the number on the right, I see number 3, which tells me 4 or less, let it rest. And so the number I rounded it to is 200. I rounded it down. Very well. Well, this is what is rounding. This is what we already know. But now we need to still answer the question, what is estimation? An estimation is when you get a reasonable answer about an amount. And we use rounding to get the estimation. Now, when do we use estimation? We use it when we are cooking. For example, when you're cooking, I'm sure your mom is sometimes just guessing and not really using the exact of amount, salt or flour when she's cooking and baking. So yeah, that is when we use estimation, when we don't use the exact amount of something we're supposed to use in a recipe. We can also use estimation when we talk about time. For example, if I ask you, how much time have you spent today with God? Your answer might be about an hour. I hope it's more than that, but that is when you could use estimation. Another situation could be when someone is asking you about the distance. If you want to tell someone how far do you live from your church, you could say, I live about a mile away from my church. Very good. So this is when you use estimation. And we also use it when we want to find estimated sum and difference. Sum and difference. Now in this video, I'll teach you how to do estimation to find sum. And you might be asking, what does it mean sum? I know you heard that in second grade. It shouldn't be a brand new word that you hear first time. Sum means when we are adding two numbers, it's the answer for an addition. Okay, so if you're doing addition, the answer is the sum. So sum is addition. So in this lesson, we will find the reasonable answer to the addition problems. And you know, when you hear the word reasonable answer, that means we're talking about estimate. We are estimating. That is reasonable answer. Now remember, estimate is not an exact number. It is a number closest to the exact number. Now, why would you need to estimate sum? Why would we even learn how to do this? Well, guess what? Number one reason is that it will help us to check if our actual sum is correct. And there's one more great reason for this. And that is that it's easier and faster to add rounded numbers than exact numbers. And I know you will agree on that with me. Now look at here. Which one is easier to solve? Is this one easier to solve, 245 plus 658? Or would you rather solve this problem, 200 plus 700? Think about it. Which one looks easier to you to solve? Well, I bet you're saying it's 200 plus 700. And I know you could probably do this in your mind, mentally. This one wouldn't be as easy to solve. And that is why we're going to be learning how to estimate addition problems. Very good. Okay, so let's find the sum of this addition problem. Okay, we have here 146 plus 357. Now, here we will be paying close attention to the steps that we have to take to solve this. All right, so step number 1 that I have to take will be that I need to get the actual sum of this addition problem. So to get the actual sum, I simply have to begin from the back, and I do 6 plus 7, and that is 13. We put the number 3 down, and I have to regroup. So I'm going to put number 1 on top. Very good. And we continue adding. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 5 is 10. So we'll put 0 down and 1 on top. Now we continue. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. My actual sum is 503. Now step number 2. After you've finished getting your actual sum, you will now round numbers. And we'll be rounding these numbers to the nearest 100. Yes, to the nearest 100. So let's round 146 to the nearest 100. To round 146, I need to underline number 1 and circle number 4. Now, if I look at the number next to number 1, I can tell that I will round down because my poem says 4 or less, let it rest. So I need to let this number rest. I'm not going to touch it. Now simply just copy the number and write 100. 100. Now we will do the same thing with this number 357. 357, again, we will need to round to the nearest 100. We will underline number 3, circle number 5 because number 3 is in hundreds place. And when I look at the number next to it, number 5, again, I tell myself the poem, and the poem tells me that if it's 5 or more, raise the score, or you can just say add 1 more. So add 1 more to this number. 3 becomes 4, and then the last 2 numbers, they turn into zeros because I'm rounding to the hundreds. So I have 100 plus 400, and now this will take me to step number 3 when I need to get the estimated sum. I just simply need to add 100 plus 400, and that will give me a very easy and fast answer, 500. And as you can see, when I look at my actual sum and my estimated sum, I can tell that they are very close to each other. And that is important that you do this, that you look at them and compare them. You could check yourself, because if these numbers are too far away from each other, you must have made a mistake in your rounding or your addition. You did not solve it correctly. So this is important that you do this, that you compare actual sum with your estimated sum. And if they are this close to each other, then we can say that our answer is reasonable. My answer is reasonable. That's what you will say to yourself after you finish comparing the actual sum and estimated sum. We'll be practicing more of these problems in our classroom, so get yourself ready. Don't worry, you will get a good practice and you will master these skills. Okay, well, now is your turn. For your independent work, you will have to answer question. And the question is, why would you need to estimate sum? And if you paid close attention, you will know the answer to this question. You need to write both reasons mentioned in the video. I mentioned 2 of them. And if you write both of them, you will get 10 points. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Remember, we are here. If you need anything, just reach out to us, and I will see you soon. Bye. God bless you, everyone.